welcome or welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're having an amazing day. I know I am. Today I'm going to be filming a Last Now Next. Now this video is something that I have been watching a lot of on TikTok, and I have been absolutely loving them. So I decided that instead of doing monthly wrap-ups, I'm going to be doing Last Now Nexts every so often. I would like to do like about every 5 books do a Last Now Next, so we will see how that goes. If like this one has a few more books than 5, just because I didn't realize that I was going to do this. I was planning on doing a monthly wrap-up. So this is also kind of my June monthly wrap-up. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So the first book that I have is my favorite book of the stack of books that I read this month, and that is Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. This book is so incredible. It follows these 2 characters and they're high schoolers, but I wouldn't say that this is a young adult book. It definitely has really mature themes, so definitely check trigger warnings because there's some really, really intense stuff that happens. And this one left off on such a huge cliffhanger that I cannot wait to start the next book in this series. In fact, it's on my TBR for July. I am so excited to continue in this world. I have to find out what happens to Johnny and Shannon. It is such a beautiful, beautiful story so far, and I can't wait to get into the next one. And the next book that I read was a book I actually checked out from the library, so I had to return it already, and that is Broken Country by Clare Leslie Hall. And I ended up really, really enjoying this one. I rated this one 4.5 stars. Basically, it's there's like a love story in it, but there's also like thriller aspects. It's not a romance, that's for sure. It's not a romance. Basically, it's about this woman who I'm trying to think of how to describe it in the best way without giving spoilers. There is a man that she was dating in her past. Right now she's married to a man that's not this man who she was dating in her past. But there is a murder and we're trying to figure out who solved the murder. And her son died. And her ex, so from the man from her past, not her current husband, he re-enters her life essentially, and he has a son, and she becomes really close with the son because he reminds her of her son who passed away. And there is a lot of drama in this book. Like I said, I don't want to give any spoilers. I went in completely blind and I actually really, really enjoyed that. So this book I would definitely recommend, especially if you're looking for something kind of unique. Like I said, there is like a love story running throughout it, but it's also very much like a mystery thriller. Also, like I would say lit fic, like it's kind of a combination of a lot of things, and I really liked it. I'm struggling to come up with words on how to say, but all I have to say is that I recommend it. So do with that what you will. Then I read Atmosphere by Jenkins Reid, and I actually read my friend's copy because I am on a book buying ban, so I am not buying any books. So I couldn't buy this book for myself, but my friend bought it and she let me read it, and I am absolutely obsessed with this book. Like wholeheartedly obsessed with this book. I think that it's one of Jenkins Reid's best books. It is so, so unique. It follows a woman who wants to become an astronaut. She becomes an astronaut. And there's just so much. There's a romance in here. This is perfect for Pride Month. But obviously it's perfect for every time of year. Every time of year. I absolutely loved this book. This was a 5-star book. I love everything that Jenkins Reid writes. I'm obsessed, and this story was super special, super special. I really, really enjoyed. Next up, I read Confessions by Kanae Minato, and this is a thriller. It's super short. It is about a woman whose daughter was murdered, and she is a teacher, and she knows that her students were involved in this murder, so she sets up this big long thing. She goes on this big long rant, and she's trying to get her revenge on the people who killed her daughter. It was really, really good. It was really fast-paced. I rated this one 4 stars. I was expecting to rate this one 5 stars. I had really, really high hopes. It fell just a little bit flat, but I would still say that it's really, really amazing. It's so unique. I loved the different POVs. This one, to me, was definitely a winner. Then I read The Tenant by Freida McFadden, and I actually listened to this one on audio, and I really liked it. I truly did. It wasn't my favorite Freida McFadden. It fell kind of flat. I have loved Freida McFadden's books in the past, and this one just didn't hit as much as some of the other books that I have read by her. I ended up rating this one 3 stars, so it's kind of just like a middle of the road thriller. I enjoyed it while I was reading it, but it's not something that like I am going to be thinking about forever. But if you're looking for like a fun, fast-paced thriller, Freida's books are always that. So do with that what you will. Then I read The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy, and this is a chunky book. I ended up listening to this one entirely on audio. It was good. Another one like the Freida book, it was 3 stars. It's like middle of the road. I don't think that I'm going to read on in this series unless like, I don't know, a time comes where I'm like, oh, I need a sports romance. I'm in a mood for a sports romance on audio. I might give it a go. But it was just okay. But what I did enjoy about it is that both of the main characters are both hockey players. So we got a lot of hockey in this book. And I love a hockey romance. So that was pretty good. Like I said, not my favorite. I actually think that this has cemented that Elle Kennedy is just kind of not for me. I don't love her books. So this might be my last Elle Kennedy book that I ever read. Then I read an amazing book, Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. I rated this one 4 stars. This was one of the most unique books that I've ever read in my entire life. It was so unique and special, and I went in completely blind, and I absolutely recommend that you go in completely blind. Like, I don't even want to tell you a single thing about this book. There's a man, he's in a labyrinth, he doesn't know anything, you don't know anything, and that's the way to go when you're reading this book. I loved it. It was such a unique fantasy story, unlike anything I've ever read before, so I would definitely recommend that you check this one out. My sister recommended this one to me, and she was spot on. It was very, very good. And the last book that I read this month was Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors, and I loved this book. If you have sisters, like, you have to pick up this book. It's just so good. It was making me think like a Taylor Jenkins Reid book, or another author who's like similar to that, who I can't think of off the top of my head right now, but it gave me those type of vibes when I was reading this book, and I absolutely loved it. I rated it 4.5 stars. I think that this tells a beautiful, beautiful story. So basically it follows 3 sisters, and one of their sisters has passed away. So you follow them kind of dealing with the grief of losing their sister, and their relationships with each other, their relationships outside of each other. It was just such an amazing book, especially if you have sisters. Like, I loved this book. I truly, truly loved this book. Like I said, it gave me Taylor Jenkins Reid vibes, and I just feel like that, or like maybe even like Jodi Picoult. Like, it was just so, so good. So I would definitely recommend that you pick up this one if you're looking for a new like literary fiction, women's fiction type of book. As for what I'm reading right now, I'm reading 2 books. One of them I'm reading physically, one of them I'm reading on audio. So the one I'm reading physically is The Spellshop by Sarah Beth Durst, and I am loving this. I'm loving it so much. It's about this woman, and she's a librarian, and she has a talking spider plant who is like her best friend, and the 2 of them have to escape from this library because there's like a war going on. So she takes all these spell books and she escapes to her old cottage where her parents basically like raised her, and so she's trying to do it all on her own, and it's just such a beautiful story, and I love the friendship between her and the spider plant, and I'm eating it up so far. I'm not too far into it. I'm only 84 pages into it, but I am absolutely loving it. And then the next book that I'm currently reading, I just barely started, like just barely started it, and that is Deep Cuts by Holly Brinkley. I'm listening to this one on audio, and I am enjoying the audio. It's very music heavy. This is also another one that's kind of giving Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm just like in a Taylor Jenkins Reid type of mindset. She's all I can think about, so of course I'm like finding little things to compare everything to her. But this one is a music story, and that's really all I know so far. I'm hardly started this, but I can't wait to finish it because I am enjoying what I've read so far. As for what's up next, I have 2 books checked out of the library that I really want to get to. One of them is Wedding Dashers by Heather McBreen. This is also a book club pick for a bookstore that's in my neighborhood. So I really want to get to this one. This one, it follows 2 wedding guests and they're stranded, and she has like such a bad opinion of him, but they have to get to this wedding together, so they are trying to figure out a way to get there, and they come up with, I'm sure they fall in love throughout the story, and it just seems like it's going to be a fun book, and I want to get this read before I have to return it back to the library. Then the next one is Julie Chan is Dead, which is a mystery thriller, I believe. I actually know nothing about this. It says Julie Chan has nothing. Her twin sister has everything except a pulse. Okay, so that sounds very interesting. So her sister is dead, and I guess she's going to like transform into her sister. I don't know, that sounds very interesting, so I can't wait to pick up that one. And then the next book is not a book I have out from the library, it's just one that I want to read really bad, and that is Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. I can't believe I haven't read this one yet. This one is so high up on my TBR. Lesbian vampires, that's all I know, that's all I want to know. I'm so excited to read this. I'm sure I'm going to absolutely adore it. And with that being said, those are the 3 books that I want to read next. We talked about the 2 books I'm reading currently, and then all of the books that I read in the month of June. I will see you back for another Last Now Next, probably in about 5 books. That's what my goal is, to do about every 5 books, film one of these videos so I can keep you up to date on what I'm reading and what I have been reading. And I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you in the next one. And I hope that you found something amazing to read. Bye!